Okay, so we're back again, D3Mesh, kind of exploring the model builder module here. Last time we just did a kind of a straightforward average scanned case and building the model up from there. This time I'm going to show you if you got a model that kind of has some difficult areas to it or kind of a poor scan quality in a particular area that might make it difficult for traditional building in Mesh Mixer. I'll show you how you can kind of get by that here. So let's go ahead and I'll show you one of the ones I've deemed as poor scan quality. Let's see, let's do, can't really remember this one, but we'll just do it. Okay, so dang it, I shouldn't have picked that one. But as you can see, I mean the teeth itself and the quality is actually it's not bad. It's pretty good. Um, what's difficult about this is all the extraneous data. All this is just a nightmare. It's a total nightmare for Mesh Mixer to deal with, and you come down to this area over here. And I mean, not only is it winged out, but you're overlapped. You got inverted triangles and just all this nonsense over here. Um, it's not what Mesh Mixer wants or likes uh, to to use its tools with. So that's why I've deemed this one as difficult. I'm just going to kind of show you how I went through it and how I go through it to get the best success the first time around, so you don't have to repeat anything. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be shocked if I get this done one time through. I kind of hope that I error out somewhere so I can show you how I fix it. But anyway, let's get going. Okay, so we don't need to auto align anything. We're at the right distance as far as the model height goes. I'm gonna hit go. Try to line those two centrals up. Okay, next. Same thing over here. See if I can make that kind of as flat as possible. Next. That looks okay. I'm gonna hit next. Okay, so this is where it will make or break you. And this is why I actually reduce the size of the sphere disc brush at this step. Like I said before in a different video, at first I had it kind of large, and I would just do a big swipe and just hit next and not even think about it. But you'd get way too much of this crap data over here. So the better way to do it is to kind of shrink that down a little bit, which I've already done for you. You don't have to worry about it. And just kind of start on this outside tooth here. And we'll just do what we normally do. Draw an occlusal outline. And and what I mean by being careful here is just trying to include what you need and what you need only. Um, Go ahead and kind of just get right below the gum line there. Bring this across. This is all we need here. I mean, this is truly for just very difficult models with this kind of bad outside edge. Um, Most scans, you don't even have to worry about any of this, and you could probably just do a full swipe, um, and you can do it a lot quicker. But I just kind of want to show you worst case scenario. So the tricky parts are the most terminal ends of the uh, most distal molars here. But I'm gonna kind of see if I can just get the rest of this on this buccal aspect. Get as much as I can. And the other reason it's important not to over select, at least um, as far as this app is concerned, right now, currently, is that one of the first steps it does is when it inverts and uh, discards the extra. Right after that, it will try to smooth the border around the edge of the newly rendered model there. And if you have a bunch of this extra stuff that's all triangles and overlaps that Mesh Mixer doesn't like, it will give you an error, and it will continue to work. Model Builder will continue to go forward, and it'll attempt to do it a few more times as you proceed. But that's kind of a first sign that it's like, uh-oh, you might want to kind of check everything out and really check those when you're given the option to select defects. Make sure that you're kind of really checking everything really thoroughly before you extrude. Okay, so this is kind of taking way too long. I'm just gonna get what I need here. I'm kind of breaking my own rule. I'm going way too fast on this part. Probably picking up stuff I don't need. But the more careful you are, the easier this will all be in the long run. At least on these difficult models. Okay, so I mean, am I close? Yeah, I'm pretty close. Um, it's pretty good there. Okay, that's definitely enough. Gonna go ahead and hit next. So this is where it's trying to smooth the boundaries, and there you can kind of see it didn't work. It's a maroon model. Um, so the result is uh, this outside edge is now really rough and jagged and not kind of smooth like those other models were in the previous videos. Um, so now I got to be real careful here and kind of go through and be a bit meticulous on uh, kind of checking the border. So, I mean, things like this right here, uh, that's going to give us problems. Um, so we'll just go ahead and kind of do our box select and delete that. And let's see. All this looks good right here. Or it looks okay at least. This is where it gets a little shady. Okay, delete that. And like I said in a different video, kind of model repair like this right here is outside the scope of this particular video. But if this were me and this were my patient and something I was doing um, clinically, I would be able to. I would definitely do a bit more work on this before I started building the model. I think I could repair this and get um, a better result. But it's kind of outside the scope of this particular video. So we'll just go like this. Actually, these small holes right here are going to give us trouble too. Seems like I'm cutting off a lot, but the reality is, I mean, that's kind of what the scan gave me. So um, also, oops, also these kind of, I'm sure this is fine right here, but I just like to see it smooth. Delete. And I'm just going along. Anything on the inside doesn't really matter. All these holes don't matter. I'm just checking the boundary. Here's another tough area right here that definitely, well, I don't know, definitely, but it would, I think it would have a tough time extruding. So go ahead and box select that. And just in case you missed it on a prior video, I'm not deleting through Mesh Mixer. I'm hitting this delete button over here. It does a couple more things. It optimizes and then also smooths it as well. Let's get this stuff off right here. This is going to be not good for Mesh Mixer. Okay. Even something as small, if that was actually a hole that was right next to this boundary, that would be a pretty big problem actually, or it can be. But that's not. It's just a little groove there. Keep on going. That's far away from. It's far enough away from the boundary to where that's not going to give us a problem. Keep on going here. Just check the boundary. Check the boundary. I think we're back where we started. Okay. See what we got. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of verify anytime on these more difficult models. Like I said, this next step is kind of make or break. And since we don't have the option of going back yet, again, kind of a trivial thing, but just wanted to get this out there. So this will be implemented very soon. But since I don't have that implemented quite yet, I want to make sure that any step I do going forward is going to be good. And I'll do a different video on kind of showing you how, if it doesn't work out, how to salvage things. That's pretty easy to do as well. But this looks pretty good. And actually, another tip here, the next step, if I hit next, it's going to try extruding. So one thing I can do to kind of just check and see and make sure this is all going to work out, I'm just going to try to extrude it myself real quick. I'm going to hit D. And yes, that works. If it was an invalid selection, it'd be maroon and it wouldn't even show you that little offset there. So from here, I can just hit next until it's done and we should be good. All right, I'm gonna hit cancel and off we go. And there we go. And that wasn't so bad. I guess I've just learned my lessons as far as trying to save some of this uh, extra data back here. You think, oh, yeah, I'm just going to try to get, just as much as I possibly can. and just kind of squeak around there, but it will just turn out that the boundary um, is full of holes and invalid, and it just has a lot of uh, things wrong with it. So maybe it's just because I've learned to kind of deal with it this way. Um, but like I said, that doesn't even have to be the case. There are ways to repair that initial model, and I'll do that as well in a different video here coming up to make it a much better, more accurate model rather than kind of slicing off this whole distal portion here. But either way, I think um, this is probably good um, for what we need it for. And as far as Invisalign's concerned, they don't care. All right. Have a nice day.